Hello and welcome to episode 242 of Slamfire Radio for February 2nd, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel Michaud.
And I'm another one of your hosts, Kelly Lynn.
And I'm Brian and Trevor, because Brian got lost. He was here like 30 seconds ago, and like that, he was gone.
Lost on the interwebs.
Yep.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's get into things. First off, what we did with guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Center, Canada's premier firearms retailer. Right now, they're clearing out their Surefire Legacy models. So if you wanted one of the older Surefire flashlights that are really bright, go ahead and check them out. Trevor, did you want to start us off this week?
Yeah, so not much. I just got some hours in at DC Armory or Armory DC Gunsmith. They're working with Denis. I ripped apart that Wingmaster that I showed last week on the show and was really disappointed at how deep the pitting was. I mean, the gun was $250, which was a steal if you wanted to leave it alone, if you didn't care about the pitting. But when I got into it and started to polish it and remove the finish, the pitting was quite deep, which wouldn't be too bad, only I made a rookie mistake on the polishing wheel. I'm still new, I'm still learning, and I usually check. I feel like a bug Denis, like I'm always showing him the stuff to see if, I don't want to get too deep into something and make a mistake and not be able to correct it. So I stop what I'm doing often and check with him to make sure I'm on the right path, sort of thing. And there was some deep pitting that was really close to the words Wingmaster and 870 in the serial number. So I decided that I would, I was bragging. I was calling myself a polishing wheel ninja because I was able to get around all the words and get out the deep pitting and not mess. What I do is I either put tape over the serial number, or I take a marker and I mark over the markings in the receiver or a barrel that I'm polishing. So when I'm moving the part along the polishing wheel, I've got a real quick and easy visual reference. Stay off of the black marker, stay off of the tape, so that I don't remove the marking. And that's okay if you're doing a light polishing. But because there was some seriously deep pitting, what happened is I would concentrate more so on the area that was pitted than the entire surface, which meant that I didn't blend it correctly, and I had some divots, some dips in the receiver. So there I was with the preserved marking, but noticeable dips in the steel. So I had to go back and continue to polish the side of the receiver to blend all those dips and get rid of them, and I lost all the Wingmaster markings. So I'm refinishing a Wingmaster that will look nice, but won't say Wingmaster on it. So I'm pretty disappointed. I've sunk a lot of money into these projects, more than I would have spent by buying one really good shape Wingmaster, partly because I spent a lot of money for pristine wooden furniture, vintage stuff, not like the new stuff. It looks better than the new stuff. I also spent, I dropped some money on, and you can go to Cabela's and see what they cost. I got a deal through the shop, but I still spent some serious money on a newly manufactured Wingmaster barrel to avoid all of the refinishing work that we'd have to do to finish an express barrel to a Wingmaster standard. But I'm getting 2 shotguns out of this instead of 1. So spent a fair bit, but I'm getting 2 instead of 1, 2 different versions. So it'll still be cool. But anyway, that's what I've been up to. We got one prepped, the one that I got from you, Adriel. We got that prepped for parkerizing. Parkerizing is so simple. You degrease it, and then you sandblast it, blow all the sand off, parkerize it. I may have that backwards. It may be, it's degrease, then sandblast, then parkerize.
Yeah.
It's the simplest of the finishes. Yes.
If with parkerizing, you have to put oil or something on it. You can't just leave it as is.
After it's been sandblasted, you mean?
No, so you put the parkerize on it.
Yep.
Still need to coat it in something.
Oh, yeah. Same as when they come out of the bluing tank. When they come out of the bluing tank, they get coated in oil and they stay in oil for a couple of days before you clean it off and reassemble them. When I get to work to them.
The nice thing about parkerizing is that it'll like soak in that oil because it's got some more spots for that oil to kind of soak in.
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a porous finish. So, but at least with your receiver, the pitting wasn't bad at all. So I didn't lose any of the markings. So, but I'm not using yours for the high end finished Wingmaster because it was drilled and tapped, and I want a unmolested receiver. But now it's totally molested because I've had to remove the markings by doing so much polishing to blend out my mistakes. So it turns out I'm not a ninja after all. Unless it's like,
overzealous.
yeah, yeah. So I'm shaped like the Panda Ninja or whatever that cartoon guy was there. But yeah, so that's it for me. Just been to the shop doing some stuff at the shop. Who's
Cool.
next?
Brian, did you want to go over what you did in guns this week?
Yeah, real briefly, got to the range actually on the weekend, for the first time in a long time. Got to see our brand new back range. Trevor, you've been at the back range at my club, right?
Yes.
Well, it's all the walls are twice as high now, I think.
Really?
And yeah, it's like I'm in a canyon now. So we got a deal on dirt, and the club spent all last year getting that put together. The range is actually open temporarily until the frost comes back out of the ground, and then we have to get it seeded. But it's open for now, so I got to use that. Got to actually get my lightweight upper finally actually zeroed. I'd been shooting it a little bit, but just kind of messing around with group size and that sort of stuff. And then I figured, hey, I should actually have it centered up so when I shoot at something, it hits what I'm aiming at. Always, kind of a detail, right? Having a gun zeroed. And once I did that, I decided to actually do some positional shooting some sitting, some kneeling position, just because I haven't done that for quite a while. And it was good to get out and squeeze the trigger for a purpose, for because I haven't done any shooting, I don't think, since before Christmas. Here it is, end of January, but it's
Really?
been ugly. Yeah, well, it's been gross out, right? Like,
Yeah, it has been.
And yeah, so I'm just trying to focus my time on doing stuff that's not cold. Now the last thing, I put together that upper last fall, and I contacted the CFC after I did that to change the registration on that lower receiver to add that barrel length to the receiver. Initially, I called them because I said, well, can I have multiple barrel lengths on a restricted firearm? And the lady on the phone was like, yeah, no problem. Can I have it actually show up on the card where I have multiple barrel lengths? Yeah, that should be fine. So they did the change and sent me the new card back at end of November. And of course, it just had my new barrel length, the shorter one, the 14.5 inch. So yeah, all right, I'll get around to calling them and getting that straightened out. And here at the end of January, full 2 months later, I finally called them again to say, hey, I had really meant for this to have multiple barrel lengths listed on it. Is that possible? And can I get my card changed? And the gentleman on the phone at this time said, you can have multiple barrel lengths registered to a receiver, which I didn't realize 100% was true. But we won't give you a card that shows multiple barrel lengths. We'll only show the shortest barrel length that you have registered to that receiver. Okay, that sort of makes sense because at some point there's only so much room on the card, I guess. And he said, oh, and yeah, we only have one barrel length registered to that receiver. The other one was removed. Oh, great. Thanks, CFC. I really appreciate that. Well, so can we get that changed? Yeah, we've got that changed. We put the old barrel length back on because they have a record of that. So at least now my receiver in theory is set up so that I can take either upper whenever I want. I don't have to carry both of them with me and kind of going around that whole, you have 30 days to notify the CFC of any change to barrel length, which kind of makes sense because there's no barrel length I can put on an AR receiver in Canada to make it non-restricted or more restricted. It is what it is. So that's how I'm going to roll with that for now. I am going to follow up with them again next week when I have a minute, just to make sure that they actually put that barrel length on my on the registration.
Wise.
Because, what's that?
Wise.
Yes.
Wise,
yeah,
because people make mistakes and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have any motivation to do it right. I'm motivated for them to do it right, but they're not. So yeah, we'll see. So yeah, that's about it. And yeah, I'm just trying now to get out of the debt hole that I put myself into over Christmas and last fall building this upper. So I'm chilling out with money for a while on gun stuff. So
I too built an upper I forgot to talk about. Could I go ahead?
next week,
Yeah.
that's good.
Next week? Okay.
Go
I'll
for
jump
it.
back to you. Go for it, Trevor.
Thanks, man. Yeah, so this is a
That's
mock-up.
stupid. I don't want to know about it.
Oh, stop. A lot of people don't know what this is. This is my cute kitty cat. So,
It's a tiny little AR.
yeah, it's a baby AR. It hasn't grown up yet. So it's a mock-up. This will not be the handguard that stays on the gun. This was
That looks
bit
like a
of a
little
long-
quad rail.
Yeah, it was a quad rail that I actually had to cut down. So as you can see, the gas tube is not actually here. This is the front sight that Bolivar sent me. It doesn't have pins. I got another one coming with pins, but this barrel's not notched for pins. So yeah, Denny and I will have to get that done. So what this is given to me by a listener. It's a Colt A2 upper. Right now it's sitting on my STI 3-gun lower. Someday it will sit on its own Colt lower. In the meantime, I'll probably put it on a whatever lower. I don't care. Cheap Nork or I don't care. Whatever. It'll get a lower. But ultimately I would really like to have it on a Colt lower. So it's all Colty. So what was I going to do? I mean, I'm not a fan of carry handle uppers.
But it looks so cool. It looks so cool just having a carry handle upper and an iron front sight. It's a tiny little BB gun.
It is. This is like the original PDW. They called them. Their nickname was the Kitty Cat, and they came in both. I think DPMS. I don't know how long DPMS has been around.
Commando like that?
Yeah,
That short.
yeah, I think so. But anyway, if you Google M16 Kitty Cat or AR-15 Kitty Cat, you will see this gun. 7.5-inch barrel, A2 front sight, A2 upper with carry handle. The grip will be an A2. This is the grip that stays on my 3-gun rifle, so I'm not taking that off just for illustration purposes. But this is the style of stock that's going to be on it. So shout out to listener Cody. I think I agreed to purchase a stock tube buffer and spring from Cody on like Monday, and it was here on Wednesday from BC.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
That's across the country.
Yeah, he overnighted that stuff and didn't charge me shipping. So he gave me a really good price that included shipping, and I do mean a really good price. So yeah, shout out to Cody for that. So that's another project I got going on. So I'm building 2 870s, an SLR, and a Kitty Cat simultaneously. But I'm not broke or anything for the rest of my life and can't go anywhere or do anything because I'm dumb.
I'm going to be really curious to see how that thing zeros, because that rear sight and front sight were not meant to be that close together.
Yeah. It's a 25-meter gun.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Close
but you'd like to not have to aim over top of your target at 25 yards just to hit it. So I'm just curious to see how it lines up. It'll be
Are
interesting.
you guys hearing Brian as like a robot voice, Brian?
Yes, we are. Yeah, Brian, you're
Interesting.
completely. Yeah,
Brian, you have to go feed the mice.
you're like drunk Bender.
Drunk Bender. All right. Let's see here. Is that me then?
Yep.
Okay. I'm doing me then. Let's see here. So my C96 stock came in. This is not a real one, not even close. This is like just a cheap Chinese eBay one, but it's pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah, it's like it's a wood holster stock for this. I don't have a real C96 in here. This is the that Gletcher BB gun, but
Full auto BB gun.
yeah, look at that.
I may
Look at
forget.
that.
That's amazing.
That's
Ooh,
cool.
it's so cool. Pull a
The
little-
machine gun museum that Filthy takes us to has one of those all genuine, though, like the real deal.
Oh, that costs real money though. This
Real money. Yeah.
no, this doesn't cost real money. I had to work the adapter on it over quite a bit before it fit, but now it's nice and tight on there. And bada bing, bada boom. Now you've got a
Cool.
stocked, Mauser
BB
machine pistol. Yeah. Check that
CO2?
out. What's that?
CO2?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It takes mags. So
Yeah.
you've got a mag and you'll load this thing up with a CO2 cartridge and a whole bunch of BBs. The mags are pretty cheap, and then you here pop that guy in, and then you got like 18 rounds of BB Fury. So I'm gonna go out to my parents' place this weekend, and I'm gonna let a squirrel like have it with this thing.
On video.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
In
I think I
face.
might do like a GoPro on the head or phone in my other hand, and just kind of like one hand this guy.
Do the GoPro.
And,
To get the boys
if
to
I-
go out there. It's about time they witness something like that.
I've already.
Start getting the
I've
boys-
got the. I got that one deer blind that the squirrels keep coming into. So if I see any squirrels in there, it's going to be close. They'll be like a meter away, maybe, and they're going to get a full. Like this thing fires fast. I don't know if you guys watched the video.
I did.
It like lets them rip, and we'll find out if it's
Oh.
lethal. But I'm so happy with this thing. Like this is not like the finish on it's not fantastic, and it smells like that chemically like leather kind of thing. But
Chinesium. It smells
yeah.
like Chinesium.
oh, it cost me like $50 shipped, and it's like it's ready to rock and roll. You wear kind of like a man purse. You throw this thing over your shoulder, and that thing kind of sits next to you.
That is silly.
Yeah, fun stuff. I sold my Beretta. I don't know. You didn't talk about that, Trevor, but
I didn't put anything in the notes, so I totally forgot. Yeah, I also bought a gun this week. I don't know when you're getting paid, by the way. We didn't discuss that. Wait, did you ship it yet? I should have
No.
waited. I should have waited till you shipped it to tell you weren't getting paid for a while. Oops.
yeah, that's sitting on my floor. So is this barrel. The barrel's sitting right there too. I just got to pack them up and put them in the mail.
Yes, please.
Yep.
I got a receiver that's parkerized and needs to have that barrel parkerized to match it.
Yeah.
That's the last piece of the puzzle now.
Sold my M14. I didn't have that very long. Let's see here. I may have ordered a shotgun.
You don't know?
Well, okay. So this Simon from S&J is doing like this group buy thing.
Right.
Where
Yeah.
he comes across a deal, and this deal for this shotgun, this intro one, is minimum of I can't remember 15 or 25 shotguns and a max of like 50, and he'll buy a whack of them and then mail it out to everyone, and you get a shotgun for cheaper than it would have been if you would have bought it from like Canada Ammo or something like that. So it's a 14-inch pump, walnut stock, Turkish shotgun, 3 chokes, and 250
That's not
bucks.
bad. So
Yeah, I don't need it, but I want it. Let's see here. I ordered an M1 Garand sling just to have like a cotton adjustable sling on hand. And
Like a
I ordered.
USGI, like we use in Maple Seed.
Yep,
Cool.
exactly. Yeah,
You have
this one was from Greece. It was like
When
I know I have that one as well.
Okay, remind me to mail it to you. Stacy's gonna kick my ass all over Canada. I've only had it for like 18 months.
She sent me a picture of it like a long time ago. I'm like, oh, cool, and I just didn't.
It was
At this
actually 1 year ago at this time because I saw it getting made. So
At this
I
particular
could have
moment,
actually picked it up and brought it across the border and mailed it to you.
Yep.
Just-
And at this particular moment in time, I have no idea where it is. It's in this building somewhere. When I mail you your bolt action pen and your 1911, I'll put and what else was I going to send you? You'll
There's
have to
a few
remind me
things
of all
there.
the things I've promised.
Yeah,
Box keeps growing.
and then we'll have to like reconcile whatever we owe each other.
Yeah. I've lost track. I don't know anymore.
Oh, me too. I ordered an SKS chest rig, not because I need one,
What?
but because I kind of want one. Have you ever seen them? It's like a chest
thing?
rig. They have like a whole bunch of little like spots for the stripper clips full of ammo on them.
It's like a vintage thing or a newly
Yeah,
manufactured.
like from the 1960s Vietnam War era
I need one.
chest rig. And
I'm-
they're like
I'm-
$15. And I was like, I don't need this, but we're gonna have this historical shoot. Again, I don't really need the ammo capacity, but I want it.
Have you
So-
seen this? This is the same idea, but this is from World War II for your Lee Enfield. You put your stripper clips in here.
Yeah, loaded stripper clips, right? Front
Yep.
to back? Or just one?
You get. I just happen to have some on hand, of course. They go in this
That's
way.
for home defense.
Well, I mean, my jungle carbine is a jungle carbine is right there. The stripper clips are right here. There's worse things to defend yourself with. So yeah, you put 2 in, one in the front, one in the back. There's a little divider in there, and they fit in there like that. So listener sent me that with a whole bunch of other stuff a little while back.
Very cool.
But I don't have the SKS one, so
yeah, they're cheap and
Gotta
they
fix them.
fit like a pile of ammo.
Well,
like
there was a guy.
really heavy.
There's video of a guy shooting a CQB match with an SKS, and he was feeding it with stripper clips, and he was pulling them off of some kind of chest thing.
Let me see here. It's not going to be long before I find one. There's one, and I'll do a screen share. And Wub Ammo, there. That's what you're looking at right there. Is one of these guys, and this is, I don't know, they're like $15 on eBay, and they'll be like, they have some new reproductions, and then they have the old ones that are just as cheap. So I got one of the old ones.
It screams communism.
Yeah, from the wood, like not buttons, but I don't know what do you call those? Those like round things that's like they're not buttons; they just kind of like fit in the loops.
Toggles?
Toggle, sure, why not? I guess it's toggle.
Like.
Yeah.
Fasteners, clasps.
Yeah. You fit a ton of rounds with this thing, right? So 14 stripper clips, 140 rounds on your chest. Man, that thing heavy.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess that's it for me. Kelly, what about you?
Didn't do anything.
Oh, that's
Nothing.
easy.
I was supposed to go to SFRC on the Saturday, but I didn't end up going because my washer and dryer blew up. They hate me.
Did you shoot your washer and dryer?
No, but that's a good
Oh.
idea.
Did
They
it
ran
stop
around.
because of ammo-related instances? Was there ammo like rolling around in there? Is that why it stopped? No.
No,
I tried.
but so I didn't actually go out. But one of the ladies from SFRC met me here at my place, but I didn't buy anything. We got an iTunes review. Somebody asked about their calendar. It didn't have a sticker on the back. I just wanted to talk about that. So if you do have a CCFR calendar without a sticker on the back of it, email Tracy Wilson at info@firearmrights.ca and she'll get you a number too, because we just had another draw today, actually. And we found out that there was a few that didn't have stickers on them. So when they got sent out. So if
Did I win?
Did you register it? And no,
Yeah.
you did not win.
Oh.
Somebody named Ashley won this one. It
Jeff
was
Reese is actually calling me.
Hi,
Excuse
Jeff.
me.
Oh, okay. Hi, Jeff. Yeah, that's it. That's everything that I've done. Not really. Actually, we have one more thing.
Okay.
So we sent everybody emails for Project Maple Seed for the instructors, and the deadline just passed yesterday. And we have, as of now, we have 42 people who want to be instructors.
That's incredible.
It's almost like a relief. There's like a weight off my shoulders, everybody's shoulders. It's just like, because of the fact that we have so many people, like the caliber of people who've said that they'd like to be instructors is amazing. So it's really, really cool. And we're going to have to learn how to speak Russian, because one of the guys, Stanislav from New Brunswick, he's signed up as well. Oh, I hope I could have said his name. Anyways, he's the guy that he's the guy that shot one of the MQTs with his SKS. So it was awesome. And yeah, he's signed up as well. So
very cool. Just in terms of your instructors there, so like you've got a ton of them there. Are you going to be putting together like a really good package to get to all of them to make sure that the consistency is really good?
Yeah, actually, we have a complete package put together. We have videos. We're going to use Skype. We're going to use people locally as well. We're going to have get-togethers for training, and it's going to be, so people who actually want to become instructors, it's going to be at their own pace, but at the same time, we're going to help them along as well. So, and again, we'll be getting across the country, and we hope everybody who is signed up to be an instructor will come to the events and they can learn. It's going to be like hands-on learning as well. So it should be good. Yeah,
awesome.
We have a really, really, really comprehensive training package that's been put together. Videos, manuals, everything. So
yeah. How's the distribution? Do you guys have a lot of people in like BC and Alberta and Saskatchewan and that kind of thing?
Yeah, actually right across the country, so which is really good. BC is a little late because with the fact that we didn't get to BC last year. I'm hoping that we will get some people when we go there this year. And yeah, so we have people in New Brunswick who've signed up or we're interested, people in Prince Edward Island, people who are lots in Ontario, Quebec, Saskatchewan, Alberta. Alberta's quite heavy, but yeah, right across the country, so it's good.
Yeah, that's awesome. I think that's a key thing, is to get lots of instructors all across the country, because you guys are Yeah, like there's too many people in Canada for just you guys to do everyone go on these massive road trips and try to teach everyone, right?
So 5 people across the country for the entire year, it's not going to happen. So
you get a killer tan, but
yeah, they did, didn't they? They got a good tan last year.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't go to Alberta, but I stayed in Ontario where it rained all the time.
Awesome. All right, well, let's move on to upcoming events. Trevor, are you with us?
I'm here.
All right, I'm going to start reading about the.
He shipped me a gun.
Just out of the kindness of his own heart.
Being broke like a minute ago.
Jeff cuts me the most amazing deals on guns, so there just happens to be a Savage Mark II in the mail.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
And then I actually talked him out of buying a gun just now, and then he wants to know when he's coming on to give a recap about SHOT Show. So I told him that we
gotta have him on for that.
We're booked up until like into March now for guests, so we'll have to see. Maybe we can do 2 guests next week and no emails or something. Maybe just
yeah, I think that's a good idea. We need to capitalize on SHOT Show. Right?
SHOT Show can't be stale dated. You can't leave it a month.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's move on to upcoming events. And the one that we've got here is just more details on the 8th Annual Podcast Network Charity Shoot. This is a 3-day event, July 5th to 7th. Trevor, I'm just going to take this. Just jump in if I say anything incorrect. This year's charity will be a local ALS charity. There will be details to follow on that. Day 1, July 5th, will be the Furlacci Handgun Fundamentals class. There'll be 15 spots. Price is $100, which is pretty decent.
There's not 15 spots. Back up the train. People have been. I updated a lot of the. It's posted in 3 different places on Facebook, and I updated a lot of them. We now have 9 people signed up, and it only got posted this afternoon.
So if you want in on that,
send an email to Slamfire Radio. Yeah, if you post online, I'd like the pistol class. It might get buried in the thread. So if you really want to make sure you're in the pistol class, please send an email.
Yep. That email is slamfireradio@gmail.com. Yep. Day 2, July 6th, will be a Maple Seed shoot. Pre-registration is required. There'll be 20 spots. And again, that's number's probably gone down. Make sure I got a spot.
No one's registered.
We haven't opened up the registration yet. So
well, I'm in the registration then. All right. Cost is $50, $30 for law enforcement, $15 for youth. Registration starts at 7:30 a.m. there?
Yeah, so
online?
When you come in, so registration, you do have to register when you get there. So it'll be 7:30. So the course starts at 8 o'clock.
Okay, cool. Let's see here. Registration round count is 300 rounds, which I imagine I'll be borrowing from one of you guys with one of your guys' 22s as well.
Sure.
Yes. All right. Day 3.
Borrowing ammo. Yes. Borrowing. Yeah.
You can have the cases back. July 7th will be the charity shoot. Registration at 9 a.m. Cost is $25. There's going to be 4 events. The first will be a mini steel challenge match. The 4 steel challenge stages will be Accelerator, Pendulum, Smoke and Hope, and 5 to go. And if you know Steel Challenge, those are all like very standard stages that they have. These are USPSA Steel Challenges. You can Google them, or you can probably find YouTubes on like how to shoot them and all that kind of thing. Mini round count is 100. Bring 200. There'll be 3 divisions: 22 pistol, 22 rifle, and 9mm or above handgun. The second event will be a 22 rifle silhouette gallery style shoot, distance of approximately 18 meters, 20 rounds of 22 LR. You'll be shooting 5 rams, then 5 turkeys, then 5 pigs, then 5 chickens. The third event will be a round of trap, 25 rounds of shotgun, your choice of gauge, but shoot it with a 12 or a 20.
Yeah, I just want to jump in there. Events 2 and 3 will happen simultaneously. We'll do the pistol shoot, the steel challenge at the back of the range. Then when that's done, everybody moves to the front of the range where the rifle range and trap range is and where the silhouette range will be set up. Some people will shoot trap while some people shoot silhouette. So go shoot your round of trap, then make your way over to the silhouette and shoot your silhouette. Hopefully you won't have to wait too long to do either. but you know, both of those will happen simultaneously to speed things along.
Awesome. Finally, we'll end the day with a fun rifle and pistol shoot. Bring whatever you want to. Distances between 100 and 200 on the rifle range, 18 meters on the pistol range with a steel plate rack, dueling tree, and a hostage target. All 3 events will take place at the Restigouche Gun Club in Balmoral, New Brunswick. Barbecue will be provided by Smoke on the Water. That'll be smoked meat, sides, and drinks. And that's extra? You got to pay for that, right? Yeah.
Yep.
The invitation letter will be on the Restigouche Gun Club's website soon. Are you going to put it on the Facebook group as well for the 8th annual?
Yeah, we'll put a link to that. Shout out to Stacy, who's actually working the letter, putting logos and stuff like that. Now, in the past, what we did was we did a fun rifle shoot where everybody congregated on the rifle range. But I thought, hey, if we have enough field officers to go around, I'll set up a bunch of X-Metal steel targets on the pistol range, and you can hang out on the pistol range and shoot pistol, or go to the rifle range, or one or the other, or both. You know, the last couple hours of the day will just be a free-for-all fun shoot. Everybody loves to shoot steel, so we'll set up the hostage target, the plate rack, and the dueling tree. The plate rack will have a cord attached to it, so you can reset it from the shooting line. No one ever has to go down range to reset. Just have at her, have fun, kind of with the pistols in that. Blast some steel, and then you know, just float around, go back and forth. If you transport your firearm on the range, it just either needs to be unloaded in a holster or cased if it's a long gun.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't we move on to news? I saw someone clicked on this. Who wants to take this one from James?
I guess I will.
I don't think you will.
No, you're still robot-y.
Okay,
You just want
never mind there. All right.
do you just want to reconnect, Brian? I'll take this one. I'm not too robot-y here. Students arrested after gun photo prompts. Oh boy, comics. Comox Valley School closures. And those are some real blingy gats they got. But 3 Comox Valley high schools were closed Thursday after a picture was posted to social media of 2 teenagers posing with what appeared to be guns. The Comox Valley School District confirmed that high schools Marquisfield, JP Vanier, and Highland were shut down after police determined one of the 3 schools was not safe. Some 3,000 staff and students were told to stay home out of precaution. RCMP later confirmed 2 students were arrested for uttering threats and have since been released to the care of their parents. So, looks like some kids doing dumb kid stuff, threatening people and showing pictures of them with guns.
Well, the photo included texts such as "shooter gang" and "don't come to school tomorrow." So, yeah,
that was not a smart thing to do to post on social media.
No.
Just post the pictures of you with the guns. Why not? But don't come to school tomorrow is probably not the piece you want to put online there. Just pro tip from social media people, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of someone who's taken threat assessment from within the context of a school setting and someone who knows the politics of schools, one thing that you will often notice is that there's no response from the school. Schools do not make any statements in the media because you can't win. So they don't play. And it's also like confidentiality. They're not going to ever comment publicly about a student situation or a case or anything like that. So that's why there's never any response from the school. But these things don't happen in isolation. It's my experience that this was probably not a first time kind of offense for these particular individuals. Speculation, but
it was also exam day.
It was also exam day, so yeah, there's a motive there of let's not write exams tomorrow by making a couple of
getting arrested.
Yes.
For uttering threats.
Well, you know, you need a viable excuse to get on an exam, and maybe getting arrested is one of them.
Yeah, seem to have worked for them. So
yeah, this falls into the category of play stupid games.
Now, if you miss your exams because you were arrested, is that a viable excuse? Do you get to rewrite?
Pretty good excuse.
Yeah, we were arrested because we were trying to not write the exams. I don't know if they would look very kindly upon that.
No.
I'm not a teacher or anything like that, but
Oh, they can get it a school free card. They'll get kicked out. They'll be expelled. So they don't really have to write because of the fact that they're expelled.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
You're back, Brian. You sound better?
I don't know if I sound better.
You
tell me.
do.
You do.
All right, cool.
Way better. Awesome.
And I have no sympathy for kids. I wrote an exam after getting into a car accident going to high school.
I have no sympathy for kids. Brian Bolivar.
I read that in a card once.
So I've already got that clip like ready to rock and roll, and I'm pulling that one out when you're gone from the show for a day. I'm pulling that sucker out.
Can you send me that? Because I'd like to use that on my own kids. That'd be awesome.
All right, let's get into some new gun stuff. This first one is on S&J. I talked about this a little bit just as a start, right? They're doing this group buy website where I guess if they come across a deal where they need a bunch of buyers, it's kind of interesting. It's like almost like a Kickstarter group buy kind of a thing.
Sure.
Yeah, kind of neat. So that's there. The RDBs are coming into Canada. Do you guys see these? $1,500, the Keltec RDB.
Yes, I saw that today.
Oh, here we go.
I'm upset that I have no money.
What?
I want one.
What?
Sure.
Oh, my head's gonna explode. Why?
Oh, please, on camera. That'd be great.
Oh, you want one of these?
Oh yeah, no, I think it looks cool.
I do too, but not bad enough. I think I want to get one of the Maccabi rifles going first.
Yeah,
Maccabi,
no,
sorry.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
no, I get
looks
that.
cool, Brian.
They do look
it just
cool.
it looks neat. And bottom and jack, totally ambi. No, I think it would be nice. I'd like to finally dive into the bullpup world for a
This
little bit.
is not the rifle to do it. Get a Tavor.
Nah.
Get something
Nah.
proven, not made of clamshelled plastic.
Hey, well, look, remember, I have real rifles. I can have something here that's not the best thing going. That's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, regardless, I am not going to be getting one, so it's okay, Trev. Chill.
Okay, I'm untriggered.
Slowly.
I was really hoping that you would rage quit. I really was.
Is there a way I can hang up on Brian only? Or
Yeah.
call him, hang up on him.
I think Adriel can.
Oh,
Maybe.
man.
Yeah, I mean, I was really interested in them until I started Googling around and looking at the accuracy. It looks like most people are getting right around 3 MOA, and that's not accurate enough for what I would be doing with this thing, which would be hunting coyotes. So I think that leaves me with the Maccabi SLR, and yeah.
And the SLR will depend on your barrel and bolt fit. Maybe?
Nice barrel.
I gotta-
I'm gonna put all my
yeah.
money. I'll put all my money in an excellent 18.5 or 20-inch barrel for it, and that'll be my coyote killer straight up.
Yep.
Yeah, honestly, unless they've done something really wrong, if you put a decent barrel on it, it's got to shoot decent.
Cool. Have you guys seen the Brownells retro rifles? I might actually like do a
Yes,
screenshot
and I'm
on
in
this
love
one
with them.
because they're
And
sweet.
Filthy sent me a link in Facebook PM today that Wolverine, it's off of Reddit. Wolverine is going to be carrying these things, but they're mental expensive.
Are they?
Yep.
Huh. Well, here's one thing that
the original.
I don't know if they thought of, but the original AR-10 design is not named restricted. So if they have an original AR-10 design that's not like a modern one that's based off the AR-15, that's like one of these old style ones, we might get them non-restricted.
Yeah, but
20-inch barrel. Yeah, but like, okay, put some optics on this thing. Well, it's
no. Regardless, is it going to be cost more than the 308 Tavor? Is it going to cost more than the Modern Hunter? If it does, then
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it's
certainly going to cost more than a BCL.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah, but they look really cool.
Yeah, keep going. That's the one I want. No, one more. Yeah, the 16A1. That's the one I want.
That one will be restricted, definitely.
Yeah, of course. But I just, I grew up with that image in my mind as the M16.
Mm-hmm. You've seen the Canada Ammo Norinco ones that they make for these, right? They also make like a 12 twist.
They do,
a triangular
20 barrel,
handguard thing. Yeah, not as nice as what this one would be, probably. Oh, there you go. There's your,
Yeah.
not quite the kitty cat, but getting close.
They started off doing YouTube videos telling people you can build this gun by buying these particular parts from us,
Mm-hmm.
and then all of a sudden they started to offer these rifles direct.
Yeah, well, they
Makes
have
sense.
an AR builder or something like that. But yeah, these are really cool. Really cool.
Yep, especially since we can get them in Canada, or will eventually be able to get them in Canada.
Mhm.
So,
Anyone want to cover the Hudson?
yes, actually, I do.
right.
Don't hold your breath, kids. No, I'm serious. Hudson has been approached by many Canadians at SHOT Show trying to secure a distributorship, importation, exclusivity deals, that sort of thing. And
Mhm.
Hudson's answer has always been,
No.
we must fulfill our domestic market demands first before we look at out of country. That was the story in year one. That's still the story in year two. What Iron Guns is doing is taking guns that were intended for the American market and exporting them to Canada. And if American dealers find out that Canadians are getting Hudsons before they do, I'm pretty sure Hudson's going to have something to say about this. Wait and see. I'm not holding my breath that this is actually going to come through. I don't mean to be doomy and gloomy, but I think Hudson may tell Iron Guns
Stop.
that yeah.
Well, but what Iron Gun says is that they're in stock for February delivery. So it's possible that Hudson will shut them down eventually, but at least for now, they're saying they have stock. So those
Some
ones
might
should be
get
able to
in,
come
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a gray area, and these are considered gray market guns.
Well, it is. Yeah.
You know, like take for example, okay, so somebody in Canada has exclusive importation rights and is the exclusive dealer for brand X, Y, and Z. So somebody buys brand X, Y, and Z from Iron Guns and has a problem with it, and they contact the Canadian distributor and they run that serial number and they're like, we've never sold this gun to any Canadian dealers. How did you get it? Oh, I bought it through Iron Guns. Well, then you call Iron Guns. That's kind of,
and that's that is the issue. That is one of the issues with Iron Guns. Now, in this case, if there is no Canadian distributor, you got no one to call anyway. So you've got to deal with Iron Guns. Period. End of story. So
yeah, exactly. So very good.
Well, tenuously bringing on a transition here. Speaking of 1911 grip style guns, why don't we head on to our main topic about 1911 and 2011.
Good effort. Good effort.
I try. All right, and for our live listeners, sorry, but we did the interview beforehand, so we're going to skip off past here. All right, let's get into the listener feedback. Kelly, we haven't heard from you very much. Did you want to take this one from Justin?
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
I love how he did that.
Yeah. Hello, Slamfire Radio. I just finished listening to episode 241. You guys are funny as hell. I couldn't stop laughing at some of the banter between Trevor and Kelly. I don't remember that. Anyways, good times, he says. This one is directed toward Trevor and possibly Adriel. I saw some of the photos on Facebook about the Norenko MP29 project. It looks okay so far, but with the slide breaking and having to get a replacement, how is that going? I would really like to hear about a follow-up about how the project is shaping up. I may consider something similar, as I have a couple of nice 1911s and may want to have something that I can use as a knockaround, ending up kind of gun for IDPA, possibly IPSC, Steel Challenge, i.e. holster wear, smacking on the tables, getting dirty, and dirt and grit through it, etc. I hear some good and some bad about the Norenko MP29, so I was trying to figure out what is the verdict on with your project. Along the same lines, I was wondering if you may have some experience with shooter arms manufacturing 1911s. These are 1911 made in the Philippines that are being sold exclusively through Wolverine Supply. Some bargains can be had for those that just want a bargain budget 1911. Just a couple of hundred more than the Norenko. Only drawback may be that the Series 80 firing pin block design. This can easily be bypassed with a slim shim from Brownells. Sorry, there's dirt on my screen, so hold on a second. So it looked like slim. This can be easily bypassed with a shim from Brownells, and should those parts be taken out, cost is like $8 or $9. He's going to really like listening to the main topic. Anyways, going through the theme of new releases at SHOT Show, Ruger is now coming out with the SR 1911 in 9mm. Took them long enough, but better late than never. Seems like a pretty nice price point for those looking to having a 1911 in 9mm in the safe. I'm thinking IPSC production here. Series 70 design, so no firing pin block to goof around with. Might be a nice alternative to the Tanfoglio Witness 1911 that Freedom Ventures is now carrying as a replacement for no more STI Trojans. Your thoughts and banter would be most appreciated. Cheers and keep up the great work. I'm looking forward to your next show. Justin W.
Okay, I want to jump in here.
Sam 45s?
Are they Sams? Because Sams have a bad reputation, but the Filipino frames weren't used by STI for nothing. The Spartan was built on the Filipino frame, and they imported those frames, did the finishing work at the factory, so they weren't horrible. They didn't stop using them because they were no good. They stopped using them because of export issues. Let's just leave it at that. A couple of things. I'm going to work backwards here. The Ruger, not only is the Ruger going to be a good price point and a good gun. I've handled the Ruger 45 several times, always been impressed with it. They have unfortunately gone up. When they first hit the market, they were around $800, and now they're probably around $1,000. But don't forget, they're a brushed stainless gun. They're not a blued gun, so they come with a better finish than a blued gun. Typically a more expensive finish. The Ruger in 9mm would be a nice alternative to the Tanfoglio. Right now, the only 1911 I would buy would be the Tanfoglio. STI is getting out of the 1911 game. The STI Trojan has jumped to $2,000. As much as I love it, I don't think it's worth $2,000. So the Tanfoglio 1911 doesn't have quite the same fit and finish as the STI, but has some nice features right out of the box that are worth looking at. You mentioned, I'm thinking IPSC production. Okay, well, IPSC production is not a 1911 division. IPSC production is a striker fired or a double action, single action gun like a Shadow or a Glock. So the 1911s don't belong in that division at all. If you're thinking about the IPSC production rules where you're not allowed to modify the gun, that does not apply to the Classic division. The only thing is you have to be aware of in Classic is that the exterior of the gun remain that of a classic looking 1911. So you can't cut holes in it or anything like that. If you look at the DVC Classic gun that STI put out, they don't cut holes all the way through the slide, but in fact they do lightning cuts in the slide, which is legal. Like the gun is built specifically to fit in the IPSC inspection box, and so it's a little bit longer than a government model even, and has everything cut away wherever possible. They actually made the gun longer in the front and made the beaver tail shorter in the back to accommodate in order to get it into the box. So you're right about taking the Series 80 and ripping out the parts and getting that spacer. That's definitely something to do. Now on to the Project Lipstick on Pig and how it's going. It's going well. Just it's okay. Let's talk about the cracked slide. That's not Norinco's fault. That is the fault of two overzealous people working on the gun and learning as we went. We now know that the tolerances. If the tolerance is out so much, don't even bother trying to tighten them. If the tolerance is out only a little bit, you can tighten them. Unfortunately, we didn't get into slide to frame fit very much with Adam. That'll be for another topic or another episode, hopefully, because we talked about barrel fit, but then we didn't get into slide and frame fit. Because I was especially piqued. My curiosity was piqued when he mentioned that there is in fact a component of accuracy involved in slide to frame fit. So I want to explore that more with him, because when you get these Norincos, is there any point in tightening up the slide and frame rails? Are you going to gain anything from it? You could potentially create more problems there than you solve. So anyone who wants to clean up one of these Norincos, I recommend it. Just, get the slide cut for proper sights. That's the first modification I would do. Then polish all the internal parts, remove the sharp edges from the barrel lugs and the frame.
Unless you get the Nork that comes with the fiber optic front, because we have seen pictures of some that come with that. So that might be good enough to just deal with.
Yeah, if you can find that one. They do come with a Bomar rear and a fiber optic front. We've seen pictures of them online. I've not seen any in the wild, unfortunately. So if you, and Adriel kind of get bamboozled, the picture on the website he ordered from was of the fiber optic Bomar version, and he received the 3-dot version. So, and those sights don't hit well. I don't know what they're calibrated for, like what speed and what bullet weight, but mine were hitting high right and somebody else's were hitting high left. And so they're, so if you can, that would be the first thing I would do. And then after that, actually you can clean up the Norinco parts. The, Adam had mentioned that there were MIM parts. Apera comes with MIM parts. I've tossed MIM parts out of Apera before, but believe it or not, the sear and disconnector that come in these Norincos are not MIM parts. And they can be cleaned up and a proper trigger job done to them. At least the ones that I have that have gone through my hands recently. And also, like Adam said, sometimes you get a good one. Denis just got a batch of Norincos in, and every one of them was better than the two that Adriel and I had as far as fit, finish, and play in the slide. I took the slide. I bought one from Denis to get just for the slide to replace the slide on Adriel's frame, because we already tuned up Adriel's frame. So now I'm actively trying to find a slide, new or used, to get that gun up and running. So you can clean up the parts that are there, and the gun will be just fine, or you can go all the way and do what I did and rip everything out of it and replace it with all aftermarket parts. So the only parts left on my Norinco that are Norinco are the frame, the slide, the barrel, and the ejector. Everything else has been swapped out. I even fitted a set of DTS safeties to it last week. So you don't have to go that far. And if you do go that far, you will not get a return on your investment. You could polish off the word Norinco on the side like I did. You can re-blue it like I did. It's still a Norinco, and it carries a stigma, and you're only going to get so much for it. If you go as far into it as I did and buy a bunch of 1911 parts, don't expect to turn around and sell a Norinco 1911 filled with STI parts for $1,000. So even if it's tuned and runs better than a Tanfoglio out of the box, no one wants to go to the range and say, I paid $1,000 for a tuned Norinco. They're just not going to do it. I did this project to see if it was worthwhile doing and see if it was fun, and we're not done yet. I still need to get to the range and test that gun for reliability and accuracy now that it's done.
Yeah, I still want to shoot mine in a match where we can have, like, here's what it was before, here's the parts and the actions we took to this gun, and here's the performance afterwards.
Yeah, that definitely has to happen, or the whole thing is kind of not worth doing. I actually had it blued for a second time because after it was blued, then I did some additional work to it. So things kind of got out of sequence there. Obviously, if you're going to strip the finish off and re-blue it at the end when the gun is completely finished. But these days I have access to a bluing tank, so whatever, we just tossed it back in the tank because I hit it with a file when I was fitting the DTS safeties and screwed up the bluing, and I hit it with a polishing wheel on the dust cover and screwed up the bluing, and I didn't deburr one part of the dust cover and screwed up the bluing. So all those things have been repaired and the gun's been re-blued again. The other mistake I made was when polishing the gun, I rounded the cocking serrations, and now they're very, very smooth, which defeats the purpose of cocking serrations. So I will probably, if I had the proper file, I would have got in and sharpened them up with a file and then re-blued it, but I'll leave it as is and just put grip tape on it if I run it, in a match. So
stipple it with a nail and a hammer.
Yeah, well, sure, why not? Yeah. So, and so we get a new slide for Adriel's gun, and we put it into the milling machine. And before we started this project, I had watched a couple of YouTube videos, and one of them said that the Norinco Chinesium steel, and that's an element on the periodic table, it's recently been discovered. It's called Chinesium. It's very hard. Is difficult to cut. So if you're going to mill these slides on a mill machine, do it with carbide cutting bits, not steel cutting bits. So we cut through my slide. Actually, we cut through Adriel's slide first because Adriel's gun has always been the guinea pig gun. So we cut through Adriel's slide, no problem. We cut through my slide, no problem. We get Adriel's new gun, and the fit and finish is better, and the tolerances are better. And we get 3/4 of the way through the first cut, and the carbide cutting bit breaks. And people have asked, was he going too fast? Well, the way his machine is set up, you're either at this speed or this speed, and there's a recommended speed for that bit, and he's actually slightly below the recommended speed. So it's not a question of him going too fast. So anyway, the project is on hold again until the next Brownell order comes in. But all kinds of 1911 parts have come into the shop. That slide squeezing thing that Andy used to break your slide. Yeah, Denise got one now. So we're open for business.
I'm not using it on mine.
Slide. So
my slide's good. I like the second one. Haven't seen it. I love it.
It's great.
No cracks.
We're also changing the location of the rear cut on yours this time to bump that slide forward. We're not going to go for the full Wolmar cut, but at least move it forward further forward than it was before. So, and polishing stones, the stone for the trigger bow track, we got that, so we can remove the burrs. Nice. Yours has been done. We did yours at Andy's, but that's what we'll do to some of the services that we'll offer. We've got 2 styles of trigger jig for doing sear work to do trigger jobs, either the traditional straight cut and the relief cut or the radius cut. So if you want that rolly break or the sharp glass rod break, we can do either one now. So
very cool.
Yeah.
Justin had just mentioned the SARs, and I've got one here. I would say that the machining work inside is way better than a Norinco. Like I showed you guys the pictures of the Norinco slide on the inside here, where it looked like a wild beaver had
the chainsaw.
Yeah, someone had gotten in there, and on this one, it's fine. There's not really any like marks like that on the inside. The barrel hood, which again looks like someone went on a grinder on mine, is nice and smooth and shiny on this one. So I mean, I know that some of the parts aren't as good on these, and these are still a value priced pistol. I think this one was $300, $350.
Wow.
$350, which is still like they're more now. Now, some of the things that I would say are not great on this pistol, the safety. This is a military A1 style, so it's got the A1 style safety on there with just that tiny little bumper there, and that's kind of hard on the fingers trying to move that guy. But that's kind of how these things were. The swinging link on this one is stiff.
Okay, that's not nice. That's not normal.
No, that's not normal. So if you could send me some, Trevor, some from the kit that I bought.
I'll send back the other links, but the link that is that size is probably the number 3, and the number 3 has been used. What you do, drift that pin out, and deburr the inside of the barrel where the link fits.
There, where that swinging link is.
Deburr that channel and deburr the link, and that'll be fine.
Yeah, I'm just gonna leave that out so I can do that. But like other than that, the fit and finish, the finish on this thing is way better than the Norinco. It's just, especially the exterior of the pistol is a lot nicer, and the internal machining is doesn't look like it. They had like tooling that they've used for thousands and thousands of pistols after the tooling was worn out, still being used on this thing. So a lot nicer.
I need to interrupt with something very important. Karen, if you're listening, you need to go shooting with your husband. Slamfire said so.
Yeah, Karen, go shooting.
Go shooting, Karen. Take your husband shooting.
Yes.
And then make him buy you something nice.
Yes. All right. If you'd like to send the show an email, send an email over to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Trevor, did you want to read this this iTunes review?
Do I have to?
Wow.
Just stalling so I could get it open. All right. So the author is Shimmerrude. Shermerman Rude?
Sherman Rude? Sherman Rude.
German Rude. Yes. And the title is Invisible Ink. Review. Great calendar. One the girlfriend won't mind hanging up. One question. Is the calendar number written in invisible ink? Also, great show. The rotating of hosts that are unavailable is awesome.
The roasting.
Roasting. Oh, heavens. All right. And Kelly, you figured out the bean pod thing, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Or Podbean. Freaking dyslexia.
It's Podbean. Yes.
Yeah. Stupid. That's what it is, and I hate it. Yes.
No, it's actually, I like it a lot better than iTunes.
Now we're rotating bean pod.
Yeah. Well, anyways. But I did figure it out.
Did you want to read that one from Andrew?
So Andrew R. Yes. He says, I started listening to Slam Fire Radio in October 2017 and have steadily been working my way through older episodes. I really enjoy the show. It's a good blend of news, information, and humor. In my opinion, there's no better way to spend half hour each way commute. He's probably only listening to Trevor's What I Did in Guns, actually.
Well, you know what's funny is he's watching us live while driving right now, because Andrew is in the live chat right now.
Oh, is he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he must be watching us while driving. That's dangerous, Andrew.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, so he apparently watches or listens to So no better way to spend the half hour each way commute to work and the hour and change each way commute to the gun range. Oh my gosh, that's a long ways away. Where if I'm lucky, I might run into one of the hosts. I can't wait to meet 2 or more hosts this summer at the Furlachi course. He must be in Alberta. And if if Project Maple Seed ever comes to Alberta, we were there last year. We're going again this year. Then I will have the whole set. Keep up the great work. So yeah. So if he's in Edmonton, then we will see him definitely.
Yeah. And Andrew, if you want to, the pub night. Where is the pub night? I know it's around there. July 13th. Friday, July 13th is definitely trying to make it up to that one. But if he's actually going to be at the Furlachi course, it's going to be great too. Yeah, I shoot 3-gun with Andrew.
Cool.
Yeah. Awesome. If you want to leave an iTunes review or this is a Podbean one, right?
Yes, it's Podbean.
A Podbean review. Go ahead and do so. We have many reviews from people who love the show, and we love that when people review us because it just makes it easier for other people to find us out there.
And they love that we love that they love.
We love them.
To love the review.
Yes. That's critical right there. Yeah, that point. Shout outs, Trevor?
Yes. Who do I got on there? I got Cody for hooking me up with this awesome stock setup and a good price. And Stacy for the help with the letter. I think I did that already. And Adriel for selling me his Beretta. And I will pay for it, so you just go ahead and ship that. It'll be fine. It'll totally be fine.
Trust me.
Trust me. Look at this face. This is the face of a guy who I pay for my guns. Eventually.
Yeah. Matthew, do you have any shout-outs? No, he doesn't. I don't have any. Kelly, how about you?
I have a couple. So first of all, I just wanted to say congratulations to Matthew and Jewel on the birth of their baby. We didn't really.
Yeah, we totally did that last week, but
yeah, we did. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Myself. Anyways, baby Violet. I also wanted to say to Dan C, I said, I just wanted to say, glad you didn't die and you bounced back.
Dear Dan, glad you didn't die. Kelly.
Anyways, just post it on
remember,
Facebook.
everyone,
Anyways.
Oliver hates kids.
And I also.
No, I said I have no sympathy for kids. I didn't say I hate them.
Oh, fair.
I think that, anyways. And then I also wanted to say, Karen, go and take Michael shooting. But you already said that. So you took you stole my thunder. Okay. That's it.
All right. Brian.
I'm going to shout out all our other listeners who also didn't die, because without you, we wouldn't have a show.
Thank you for not dying.
Yes, and in particular, Ginger Snaps. I heard your message on the last show. Just something for you to think about. Because you're a Patreon, you're now paying to listen to me. Just let that ruminate inside your head for a bit there, bud.
We're gonna lose money.
We are going to lose money because I'm going to cancel all my Patreonies. They build me in U.S. currency now. I don't think they ever build in U.S. currency.
Seriously, you're gonna cancel on your own show?
For the second time.
I noticed that. Anyways.
Yeah. All right. Speaking about Patreonies, we've got 2 new Patreonies.
We do.
One of them, Jesse D at $3, and the other one, Richard B at $1. And I will definitely get some in the mail. Toot sweet here. Some swag, yeah. And get going on those t-shirts. Actually, I need to do an order anyway, so I'm gonna do an order of t-shirts and a whole bunch of other stuff. You guys want t-shirts, right? T-shirts?
Yes, t-shirts are good.
T-shirts?
Yep.
Yeah.
And we need does everybody have a golf shirt? Like as in us?
I don't.
No,
You don't have your own golf shirt yet.
Adriel didn't
No.
get one, so we should probably talk.
Well, you guys keep giving me like mediums, and it's like I can't fit a medium. I could try.
No.
It's like it's forming very, very tight.
Sausagey. It's like you've got a sausage wrapper on.
All right. Please join one or more of our national firearms associations, such as the CCFR or CSSA. Get out and shoot your 1911s and 2011s and guns that are like the 2011 and have the same frame but aren't quite 2011s. Try a 3-gun match, bust out some sporting clays, and try out, hunting some grouse or something. Check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. We have a forum over there, and like us on Facebook. That's where a lot of the gun discussion is these days. I was listening to 3-Gun podcast, and they were talking about how most matches now are a Facebook page. And yeah, I'm totally seeing that as well. Most matches don't bother with a website anymore or any of that.
That's what we
Just have
did
a
with
Facebook page.
Yep.
Yeah, SummerSlam is a Facebook page now.
Yeah. So it's kind of become the place to, I don't know, make these events. It'd be sad if they eventually get rid of us, but that's their prerogative, I guess.
What are you gonna
And and finally, just to wrap things up, Karen, go shooting.
Karen, go shooting.
Go shooting with a 1911, Karen.
Okay, I'm having a real hard time with this, Trevor. I'm not used to you in 1911s yet.
Okay. Well, how about this, Brian? How about an SKS in one hand and a 1911 in the other?
It's not working. What the heck?
The world is upside down. I don't believe in nothing no more.
With that, I think he hung up. Yes,
Probably. I hope so.
Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah.
Sweet. That was easy.
Yep.
Now we should read the email about him.
All right. We have
do you
to
wanna?
go.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Do you wanna? That'd be funny.